Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the 25.4 podcast. This is episode 6, and I'm your host, Andrew Long, and we have a full boat tonight. Everybody's with us again. Brandon is back. Brandon, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Sorry, I had to hit the mute button there. Doing just fine.
Bummed
that I missed the last one, but I did stay up till midnight watching it. Got into Chicago a little late, but did tune in and watch it. Guys did a bang-up job without me. So.
Well, you're a diehard, and we appreciate your fandom. You got to visit with your other kidney last week. How'd that go?
Did get to hang out with my other kidney. We threw back some beers, so it was a good time.
Good. Tim, you're stateside again.
Stateside.
We can hear you.
Full
I understand you've got a new video camera there, so.
Yeah, got a nice new camera, microphone. Should be good.
A haircut, I understand as well.
A nice sleek haircut today. Yeah, we are cleaned up from what I was earlier in the week.
Beautiful.
Scrubbing it up.
I can't even smell you from here anymore, so nice work.
Can I?
And last but certainly not least, Robert, how are you this evening?
I'm good, thank you, sir. I want to point out to the audience that collectively the homosexual has the least amount of product on in the group. Well, maybe except for Brandon.
That we can
Brandon
see.
Might have a little bit less than I do, but you and Tim are really going for it there.
I heard you put product in your pubes, Robert. Is that not correct?
Oh, I don't know. You see, this is what happens. You guys shouldn't talk to Brandon after he's had.
No. See, he braids it. He braids it.
I got a DM from Esteban on Twitter.
Well, I'll have to thwack that little.
Oh, I bet you will.
Side the head. And for Brandon, I do want to point out that I have ditched the Apple mug tonight. This is an all Microsoft day, so even though there is not a Keurig cup that will fill this monster, that's why I drink out of the Apple mug. I pulled it out tonight and filled it halfway up with one K-cup. So there you go.
Well
Very
done.
nice. That's like a
I'm rocking the horizontal stripes just for Robert, though. Yeah.
Is that a short sleeve polo shirt? Because that's okay then.
I have no idea what this is. This is some fucked up sweater. It's warm and comfy, but it's weird.
I've completely given up on you guys with the whole fashion thing. So
What? Under Armour and kickball T-shirt. What's wrong with that?
No, you're fine.
Yeah, that's perfect. Well, you're a married guy, so family man with a family plan. That's what happens. So anyway, it's been a big couple days in the world of Microsoft with the big Windows 10 event yesterday, and of course, build registration opened and closed today. That filled up in less than an hour, so that was good to see. Not really a surprise, and we all did get registered. And 3 of us have work paying our way out to build this year. One of us, that being me, does not. So we've started a GoFundMe campaign to try to get all 4 of us out there. So if you go to the website, 25, it's a new website now. Same website, different address, 25pt4.com. There's a GoFundMe link there. Check it out if you're very kind and very giving.
Was it .com or .me?
And you love the show. .com for the website. .me is just for the shortening.
Got it.
URL shortening.
.me goes to Bitly.
Yep, that's right. So we've got a big show tonight to cover all this stuff. So let's get started.
With the airing of grievances, I got a lot of problems with you people.
Yeah, and even though it was an exciting event yesterday with lots of good news, we still have stuff to be pissed off about. So I'll just go first, and I just needed more Rudy yesterday. That was it. I think that's
we need to get a cowbell with Rudy's name on it. We just need more Rudy.
More Rudy.
Exactly. Tim, what's bugging you tonight?
Bugging me last night. I had a fun little encounter after letting the dog out to find her barking away. Walk outside. So we live, the back of our yard goes to a city park. There's like a baseball park, but basically there's nobody there 99% of the time. Pitch black, no lights, none of that stuff. I'll go out there to get her in, and I see a person about 10 feet off the back of our fence with a little light on, and he's playing around in the ground. So, slightly nervous, walk up and say, "What are you doing?" "Metal detector." It's like, "Oh, all right, well, I'm out of here." So, gave it a couple more minutes. He was hanging out way too close, so ended up calling the police, and they went and checked it out just to make sure he's not doing anything sketchy. But the more general point is just creepy people doing creepy shit. Like, if you're to go out there with a metal detector, why are you standing 10 feet off the back of somebody's yard in the dark, screwing around? It's sketchy. Like, does that thought never cross their mind?
Going out with a metal detector is sketchy enough. And then what do you do in the dark?
Yeah,
right on people's yards.
2 hours
Scaling fences, for crying out loud.
Yeah, it was just weird. Just way too weird for me, So that's that.
But you're all safe. You all woke up this morning, so that's good.
Woke up, yeah. Might have had a pointy screwdriver in my hand, but I made it.
And we're glad you did. Robert, what do you got going on?
I'm in such a good mood. I actually had to think about this for a second, but the only thing that kind of popped up today on Twitter was some people whining about the news about the RT, Surface RT, Windows RT not being updatable to Windows 10.
Welcome,
Hi, Esteban.
Wow. How much did you get paid to get that product placement?
Delivery or DiGiorno?
That was like perfect insertion.
I'll make
What?
your...
Wait a minute.
What are you asking me?
Whoa, stop.
Whoa.
We're going to have to clip that off.
He's asking me when I'm making his dinner. Wait a minute, who's the servant around here? Esteban, good Lord.
That product placement was far too perfect how he slid that in front of the camera.
It was nice, wasn't it? Sorry for the interruption. Anyway, the Windows RT folks that have got Surface 2s and first-gen Surfaces, Windows 10 and them not being updatable, the point I made to people was, come on, for crying out loud, how many Android devices are actively being sold and promoted out there that will never see the latest version of Android? What Microsoft is doing is a pretty monumental change, and I'm not going to have a whole lot of sympathy for early adopters, especially from tech enthusiasts that know when they early adopt something that this is a very big likelihood. So, stop whining. Buy a Surface Pro 3.
And we're talking just RT, right?
Yeah, just RT.
So Surface RT, Surface 2, which they've gotten at least 2 years of use out of. By the time Windows 10 fully drops, 2-3 years, whatever.
And I have one of those original Surface RTs, and I wouldn't want Windows 10 on it because
Exactly.
it runs slow enough as it is. I'd be afraid of just what that would do to performance, what little there is left of it.
And frankly, I'd rather them focus on the real product that 95% of the crowd actually cares about instead of, I mean, what are they going to build? Just get rid of it. Be done with it.
Well, RT is the Latin of Windows. It's dead. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cleanup batter. Brandon, you're up. Knock it out of the park, son.
Well, I got 2 weeks to unload on you guys here, so stand
Oh my
back.
God.
Is Robert coming back, or did I kill him? Oh, he's back. Okay. So I got the first thing was the cracking of the AppX packages. So back when back before they started encrypting the packages after you uploaded to the store, when it was all Windows Phone Silverlight, you could get somebody's Zap package and basically just unzip it like a zip file. Then they started encrypting everything, and that became all but impossible. But it sounds like the AppX, if you do Windows RT development instead of Silverlight, are pretty easily cracked nowadays. The last one I heard of was Tweetium. Brandon Paddock actually put in that WinDev Slack group that he saw Tweetium being passed around the darknet, so to speak, as a cracked package. People had cracked it wide open. And so I just feel like if Windows and Microsoft are pushing everybody towards universal, they better solve this damn problem quick. Because I'll tell you one thing, I'm not going to be busting my ass to create a universal app that runs everywhere if it's going to be cracked in a couple weeks after I upload it to the store. So that's the one thing that I'm kind of really bitching about. The second thing was ad mediation on Windows Phone. I finally put it in my big app upload to YouTube, and I get reports from the field of crashes inside the ad mediation assemblies that I can't do anything about. It's some cryptic ass namespace, some weird ass exception that's being thrown and crashing my app. I can't do anything about it, and there's nothing. The only support avenue we have is a frickin' forum. So that's really starting to piss me off. Number 3 was Mix Radio. Nokia, can you please go through the user voice that you point everybody to and actually fucking do something with the thing we're suggesting? I suggested an option to, oh my god, disable the lock screen while Mix Radio is running about, 2 years ago, and they still haven't done shit with it. This is literally 5 minutes of effort, and they can't do it. So it's really, really pissing me off that these companies direct people towards user voice and then don't do jack with it. Microsoft's equally culpable here. They're doing the same thing with Azure. The feedback.azure.com is highly ignored, passed around from person to person as if you're on a support call. Let's see, anything else from this week? Yeah, not really. Those were all 3 from last week that I wanted to air. This past week, nothing too big that I can think of, so I'm sure something will come up throughout the show. That's about it.
All right. I have one more grievance before we move on, and that's this little bit of hair over here. Been messing with it all day, trying to get it to sit down, and it just won't. So
at least it's not gray.
Well, there's gray in there. You just can't see it. I turned the gray off on my camera, so you can't see any gray.
I'll have to find that setting on mine.
It's a private beta upgrade. So those are our grievances. Let's move on to some more positive stuff.
Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
And Brandon, you're listed first. You're on a roll. Why don't you keep it going?
First and foremost, 40 minutes, bitches. Build 2015 sells out in 40 frickin' minutes.
That was pretty awesome.
I mean, that's just the first time I saw the tweet was 40 minutes. So that in and of itself, what's up now? I thought that was just pretty badass. The second one is this podcast. In case you can't tell, it's extremely cathartic for me. If I didn't have this podcast, I probably would have shot somebody by now. So thank you very much for coming up with the idea, keeping everybody in my immediate vicinity safe. The third, and this is to kind of offset what I said earlier, ad mediation on Windows Phone. I implemented it, like I said, in Upload to YouTube. It wasn't hard to integrate. It was really, really easy. The functionality that they provide on the Windows Phone dashboard is badass, and it's actually doing some pretty good stuff. I'm getting a whole lot of revenue out of my ads now. The fallback to AdDuplex is sweet. I wish that it was easier to integrate AdMob for Google. But other than that, it's really cool. So that's all I got.
Well, as my dad used to say, wish in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up faster.
High five to that.
I don't know what to say to that.
Nobody does.
I wouldn't hang on to the shit, so I guess the other hand would fill up faster. Right?
I have more of those that I'll litter throughout the future episodes.
You could write another book like Shit My Dad Says.
Oh, God, no. No. There's been enough of those.
There's never enough.
Timmy.
That's why we have 18 different chat platforms. For me, really excited to see they demoed some of the Windows Phone apps, the Universal stock apps yesterday, and some of the apps they didn't have ready for any click-through. Showed us what did Joe call them? They weren't slides. He had a specific term, like not a case study, something weird. Anyway, just to show us. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I remember. I can't remember the term he used, but I remember what you're talking about.
But it was exciting for them to show those, even though they weren't in app form yet. And I'm excited for us to get our hands on the builds, and I presume it's going to come with a feedback app, just like Windows 8 did. So, one thing that stands out for me is the settings app is awesome to be grouped, but it looks like shit. And it looks terrible. I know it's not final, nothing's final yet, but just to be able to get our word in on those types of things that we really hate is pretty awesome. So I'm looking forward to that.
You're talking about the settings app on phone?
Yeah, the new one that they showed.
I thought it looked pretty nice.
Well, comparatively to Windows Phone 8, but in general, it was like a mixture. Yeah, maybe it was the color theme that I didn't like. Plus, the status bar was a different color, and it just kind of broke it all up. But yeah, overall, whatever. But just the general feedback. Looking forward to that.
Yep. Robert?
So I'm not a huge fan of The Verge or Vox Media in general, but I do have to give, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, TC Sadek, who's Chill Mage, M-A-G-E, on Twitter at The Verge, for the write-up done today about Microsoft in general and Windows 10. I've been myself a little critical of late and a little impatient of late, and reading this kind of summarized the feeling I was having after the event was over and after I'd had a chance to kind of reflect on some of the stuff we saw and where Microsoft has decided to lay out their vision and where they want to go. It was a good piece. It was unusual to read that in the Verge, and I think the thing that got me the most was there's a video attached to that article, and one of the quotes in there is, "They're really trying to invent the future here, and they're farther along than we gave them credit for." That's a pretty serious admission from somebody that writes at The Verge. So they are. I think Microsoft, what they did with that event and showing what they did, I think they've really opened a lot of people's minds to being receptive to Microsoft being the cool guy on the block again, or at least one of them, and getting Microsoft out of this default position in everybody's perception that they're a has-been, they're just an enterprise company, they'll just make money on Office and that'll be the end of it. People are starting to realize that Satya Nadella and the folks that work in there are pretty serious about what they're doing. So I thought this was a nice piece for a change to read on The Verge.
Yeah, I read that piece right before the show, and it was really good. And there's another piece I read yesterday on Engadget titled, I think, how Apple's now the boring company or something to that effect. And really, Microsoft has really garnered a lot of positive press out of yesterday's event. And I think, I think with Xbox 360, they kind of had a foot in the door, sort of being cool. That's really been a popular product, and they're kind of building on that. I think one thing too that needs to not be forgotten is obviously a lot of this stuff, like the HoloLens.
HoloLens.
Yeah, that hasn't just been in development since Satya came along. That goes back some time. So we need to give Steve Ballmer a little bit of credit too.
Yeah.
He guided them, for quite a while. And while not always the most exciting company, they were successfully financially, and obviously some of these things were getting started while he was still in charge.
Well, a lot of people have rightly pointed out that Microsoft has been pretty good at articulating a vision in the past. It's their execution that falls flat. I mean, late this afternoon on Twitter, I posted links to at least one link to a YouTube video that was back from 2011 about Office. Was done by the Microsoft Office team about the vision of productivity, and it included a lot of this holographic type stuff. So it's, there's another video, you can be going back even further than that, for 2009. So Microsoft has been thinking about a lot of this stuff for a while. They just haven't had somebody pull it together into a single coherent vision. So it's nice to see that that's finally happening, because some of that stuff is radically cool. And after just hearing the media gush over what they saw with HoloLens, you can tell that there's a space there. They've got something. They just need to execute, and that's historically been their issue. But I'm not going to judge them by the past on that right now, because they seem to be firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, and the other issue I think they've had in the past is being too early to the game with some of their vision. You know, how long ago did Microsoft start hammering on tablets and pen interfaces, or the Spot Watch, which was really a sort of a predecessor to the smartwatch we're seeing now.
Yeah.
So, oh wait, I didn't do my affirmation actually. But the Verge article reminded me of it, because it included the quote from Satya Nadella yesterday. To start of his remarks, he said, "We want to move from people needing Windows to choosing Windows to loving Windows. That is our bold goal." And I thought that was just a great quote that sort of sums up everything that they're both trying and need to do, really, to stay relevant. And I think they're on a good start on accomplishing that.
I wonder inside Microsoft just how palpable the excitement is in the hallways today after seeing the media and consumer and fan reaction to what they showed off.
Yep.
It's got to be, I would think it's got to be kind of electric.
Yeah, well, and just seeing some of the stuff itself too, because I don't think many people there knew about HoloLens, for example, so that had to completely shock a lot of people inside Microsoft as well.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's shoot the sheet for a while. We've got 4 minutes left in the show, so we can start talking about some of these and then continue on in the after show. Anybody want to start off with anything in particular?
We did really good, guys. Making it through all this with still some time left.
Yeah, I know.
I found out, this probably could have gone in the airing of grievances, but I found out this past Saturday night, that if you change from the start menu to start screen on Windows 10, it fucks up your entire user profile. Like, all of those applications you have set for startup, those no longer run on startup. In fact, you can't even launch them manually. So it really totally screwed up my whole weekend, and I switched back to the start menu. I had switched to the start screen. Switched back to the menu, everything worked perfectly. It was really, really weird.
Technology and stuff.
Shrug.
I don't understand it.
Got nothing.
I bet that issue gets resolved out here soon, though.
Yosemite. Go back to Yosemite. You don't.
Hey, I'm in Windows 7 right now. I don't have to worry about anything. Shit just either works or it doesn't.
No, I thought that was XP. Well, we already talked about the Verge Ps and HoloLens in depth, so what's this iOS mail app gestures thing?
Well, I saw a lot of people on Twitter yesterday when Joe B was demonstrating the updated Outlook app on the phone, and they were kind of
bitching,
gnashing their teeth, over being able to swipe left and right on a message.
It ruins the pivot.
Flag it or delete it. I think it's great.
I love it.
For one thing, I think doing something that's going to make it easier for people to make a transition from iOS or Android to Windows Phone, or to Windows 10 mobile on the phone Series 7 is a good thing.
Their complaint is that you lose pivots, and pivots are Windows Phone. Well, you know what? What are we, 4 years in? Pivots haven't saved the day. Not harming anybody. You're not missing anything.
If everybody's going to hang their hat on a pivot, we might as well just all switch over to iOS and go home.
Well, I'm going to assume that that's not being done on a page with a pivot anyway, because that would be counterintuitive, and you'd have gesture collision and all that. So I don't think that's an issue at all. I think people are just bitching and complaining because they think that it's losing what makes Windows Phone unique, when it's really not. It's just improving on the platform, I think.
Well, I mean, it's part of the reality is people are going to have to kind of get over that. Windows Phone is going away as a product. it's going to be one Windows. It's going to be Windows 10, and yes, there'll be tweaking for the form factor, but there's going to be some things that are going to have some design conformity issues, and one of those is going to be like you said, making the transition easier, and things are going to look similar across form factors. So some stuff's going to go. People just have to get over it.
Yeah, and same with the hamburger menu. Get over it. It's here.
It's here to stay, folks.
It's not going anywhere. So one of the other great things I thought that they brought up was breaking out the Office apps, the Mail app, Photos, People, as universal apps, sort of decoupling them from the OS. That's obviously going to be a good thing, in that it enables those apps to get updated more frequently.
Yeah. Well, and I think it was Joby that was talking about the different way that the Photos Hub is going to work now, where it's going to, I kind of had visions in my head of just getting rid of all my folders on OneDrive and just dumping every photo I have in there and letting OneDrive and the new photo engine reorganize everything for me.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of sounds like what Google's Photos thing was supposed to be, but then they tied it into Google Plus and it fucking died.
Doesn't everybody use Google Plus? We use Google Plus. Come on.
Again, Google Plus is a platform for Hangouts, and that's it.
And even that is a pain, right, Bobby?
A little bit. A little bit. If you accidentally remove yourself from a Hangout, you got to basically recreate the whole damn thing to get back in.
Yeah. So does anybody have anything to plug?
Yeah, I put something in the list.
Well, let's get these out of the way, and then we'll get to the 25.4 After Dark.
Yeah, right.
So go for it, Brandon.
Yeah, so my plug is Trivia Crack. I'm gonna launch the game here. It is it's a trivia game. It's kind of like Trivial Pursuit, but you play one-on-one against other people, Facebook friends, or you can invite them, from your address book or whatever. And I'm a trivia junkie. I'm one of those guys who just soaks up worthless knowledge, little tidbits. Did you know XYZ kind of stuff? So. I love the game. I'm completely addicted. I think I have 15 simultaneous games going right now.
Jesus.
I'm pretty nuts with it. So here, I'll show you my game screen so you guys can see that I'm not lying. So right here, these are all of the games I'm currently playing. And every one of those lines is a game that is either in progress, completed, or it's my turn to play.
I thought I was playing it a lot, but I'm not, apparently.
Does that thing have cyan on it?
What was that?
Does that thing have cyan on it?
No, it doesn't. Thanks for reminding me, though, Tim. God.
What a dick.
That guy right there, he's a dick.
So I've been playing Trivia Correct too, and I didn't realize that that it was available on Windows Phone as well. So I think that's
57,000
Yeah, I believe
reviews.
I believe it's fully cross-platform. So
yeah,
I'm having a good time with it.
To those developers,
congratulations.
Yeah, well
Yes.
done. Well
That's
done.
more than Rudy's got.
Well done.
So that's about going to wrap it up for the audio portion of the show. We're a little bit over as usual. So apologies go out to Rudy for not being able to get to you tonight. We'll try again next week.
But congratulations on your Dropbox client, Rudy.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Way to go. Now you threw off my timing. I had the whole end down pat, and now you threw me off. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at 25.4 Podcast, on the web 25pt4.com. And the podcast is available on all your favorite mobile devices, iTunes, the Windows Phone podcast app, everywhere. And we will probably be back next week for another exciting episode of the 25.4 podcast. Thanks. Seacrest out. All right. Good deal. So what were we talking about? Do you want to stay serious, or
we were talking about me finally moving my entire family off of Dropbox onto OneDrive.
Yeah, buddy, right there.
And then uninstalling the Dropbox client. I have a moral objection.
No shit. Yeah, I liked your you said something like that on Twitter, and then I immediately put uninstalls Dropbox client on my Twitter stream as well. Yeah, that was. I wonder how long it's going to take for these companies to realize, hey, as soon as we tell people that Rudy, whatever the fuck his last name is, did our app, people stop using our app.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, it's kind of like every time they mention his name, he gets a wave of Windows Phone enthusiast panties thrown in his face. So, I don't think they're going to give a shit one way or another. Unfortunately.
Yeah, you'll have the group of developers that will all uninstall it, and then the group of WP fanboys will, as Robert said, throw their panties on the stage and freak out.
Oh, wow.
I heard Rudy actually reverse engineered the Dropbox API for the official app as well. He didn't want to use their official APIs. He wanted to do his own. So
yeah. As soon as they gave him the official API, he was like, "Well, this is no fun.
I rip this up."
I find that to be believable.
I make all the APIs.
I own all the APIs.
I was afraid that Joe B was gonna
that
announce.
That sounded more like Colonel Clink than it did French.
I know nothing. Well, I am German.
Well,
by heritage, so maybe that's coming out. That's where I get these two bad boys right here. That's all.
Nice work.
There. And just like Germany in World War II, these are trying to take over my entire face.
The only thing, whenever the scene running through my head right now is from Miss Congeniality, when
right, because we all know that movie.
Stuffing his face with a donut, and he says, "There should be two," and he's pointing at Sandra Bullock's eyebrows. If there are any Moes in the crowd, they've seen that movie. They know what.
There we go. Hi. Oh,
what happened to Tim?
Yeah. I think Tim heard smoking jacket and went and actually got a smoking jacket. Here he comes. Nope, no smoking jacket.
So we've today, Cold Turkey have decided the kids are no longer getting pacifiers. Yeah, had one of them.
Fun, huh?
Yeah,
this will be Tim's grievance next week.
He's been screaming his head off for the last 2 hours.
Is that one of those hashtags seemed like a good idea at the time?
Yeah, no, never did, but it has to be done.
I just stuff a piece of cheese in the dog's mouth, and usually they're fine for a while. You should give that a try.
I was scared where you were going with that for a minute.
You're a horrible person.
Oh boy,
you're a terrible.
You're just
person.
figuring that out.
You're a terrible person.
So how are we gonna do the podcast from Build Live? We can't do Hangouts on any of our mobiles unless Long comes with his iPhone, right?
Aren't you guys gonna have laptops?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I think it'd be badass to be like walking around doing the podcast. I think that'd be cool.
That sounds like a terrible idea. Just a dangerous
positioning
idea.
us in different parts of Moscone.
I was thinking we'd like go rogue and just take over a table somewhere.
Oh, we just take over the Channel 9 booth.
Set up shop. Yeah, we should do that.
That's a good idea. We should try that.
I'm up for it. I think it'd be great to have like four guys sitting up there and just completely railing on Rudy Wynn.
Handkerchief, a little chloroform, we can make it happen.
Oh, anyway. What else? What else we got? What else did we talk about today? Today was Build Registration Day, man. And yesterday was everybody's brains exploding all over their computers when HoloLens was demoed. I didn't even know what the fuck I was looking at for quite a while.
Yeah, my first thought was, Okay. It's not. I don't want to call it gimmicky. It's certainly aspirational.
Yeah.
It's like Kinect. Kinect came out and had a decent use and implementation, and I don't know. There's opportunities here.
I think I found out that I read that Wired article. I didn't know that this guy that was behind HoloLens was the same guy behind Kinect. So that tracks based on the technology that you have to imagine they're using in HoloLens out the front.
There's somebody he reminds me of, but I can't think of it. I can just picture some creepy, the long greasy hair.
Yep.
Just.
I think I know the actor. I think
Mr.
I know the
Burns.
exact actor you're thinking of.
You know what it brought to mind was the Rob Lowe DirecTV commercials. There's Joe Belfiore, and then there's that dude's Joe Belfiore.
Yes, they did look the same. I thought the same thing too. I was like, is this like a mandatory style or what is this?
It's like, those two should be filming DirecTV ads.
Yeah, I was when she was building the quadcopter, and you were seeing her, but you were also seeing what she was building.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started to like really question what the hell I was looking at. How am I seeing this?
Oh, and
It'd be one thing to like have recording wired up through her headset, but they had something else on the camera. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I was looking at.
Yeah, and I don't know that demo was maybe the best to sort of convey. I see where they were going, where they wanted to get that end result of that 3D, the printed helicopter thingy or whatever. But it seems like if they could have done like the Minecraft demo, that would have been a little cooler.
Yeah.
From what my take on watching that demo, I was, like you guys said, it was kind of hard to maybe follow what's going on, and it actually seemed like she was kind of struggling with the interface a little bit. It just seemed like it was taking her quite a while to do not a whole lot of stuff.
Just a little too long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think
great if it was like a slap together thing.
Yeah, I think one of the great applications for that, and you kind of saw it with the Mars thing, will be sort of immersive, something immersive like in architecture where maybe it's a house or maybe it's a skyscraper or whatever, where you can actually kind of walk through a 3D rendering before something is built. I think that was
the
pretty
idea
cool
that
application.
Because my wife, I showed her the video and she was like, meh. And so I said, well, think about it. You could look at the wall and you could say, I want that picture over there. How will that look? And you can immediately see how that's going to look. Or what happens if I move the couch over here? Or what happens if I go buy this new couch? Where will I put it in the room? And you'll be able to see all that. I mean, that would be a badass application. I think companies like, well, here in the Twin Cities, we have a company called Home Furniture that sells, obviously, furniture for your home. And I think it'd be really freaking sweet for them to tie an app into their catalog and be able to walk around your house, place a bunch of pieces, and put them in your basket and go buy them at the store. I mean, something like that is pretty damn powerful.
Yeah. That could be interesting.
What are you going to use it for, Robert?
I'm not saying.
Oh, you've said enough. Don't
Esteban and I have plans.
worry.
What would it look like if it were bigger?
It's like Stretch Armstrong.
Goodness.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun. I can't wait for Continuum. I can't wait to get a Windows 10 build on my Lumia Black phone. Crickets. Where's the crickets?
Oh, Lumia Black.
Lumia Black, that's right. I tweeted a picture of that at Joe Belfiore to remind him of how shitty this is for Lumia Icon owners on Verizon. Lumia Black is what I'm running.
That's shameful.
It is. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
So one of the other cool things that they talked about yesterday with the Office apps that we didn't hit on is like being able to start a document on your phone. I guess you could kind of do it now, really, with OneDrive. Just start a document on your phone or something, and then pick it right up on your desktop and keep going with that. They kind of hit on that a little bit, and I assume it's going to be an improved experience. But that seems like a cool thing.
Well, just all the menu options will be all in the same place, and everything on the phone will work the same, and it's just, we're on your 4-year-old crappy half-baked version of Office on the phone, which, wasn't even updated for Windows Phone 8. Like, the core app itself didn't get an update, so experience will definitely be superior, where you can actually do something.
Yeah, and that reminds me, the mentioning of the flagships from Microsoft, I'm really waiting for them to put their money where their mouth is with that.
I bet they go cross-carrier.
Well,
you think they will? You think they're going to go cross-carrier?
I think they've listened to a lot of complaining. There were a couple things yesterday that really spoke to me in the sense that, yeah, we've listened. Like, we understand what you've bitched about enough. And I feel like the carrier thing is something that they would be stupid not to. They know what they've dealt with. They know all the pain points that they've gone through. And, I mean, the issues you've got with Lumia Black. Like, come on.
Yeah. I wish I knew more about like the back channel negotiations that go on there, because I don't understand how Apple can get away with it, how Google can get away with it with the Nexus phones.
Well, it's more than 5% market share.
Yeah.
Apple exploded with the original iPhone and their original partner AT&T, and basically with its popularity, Apple had AT&T over a barrel, and that's the way that evolved.
But why is it a popularity thing? Why is it this gets to be negotiated thing? Why do the carriers care so much? That's what I don't understand. I
think part of it is, all of it's money. At the end of the day, it's about the bottom line. It's about dollars and cents.
So you think they're trying to keep upgrades from happening to get people to buy new devices? Is that the angle you think it is?
No, I think that Apple has got the power because of their market share, because they were first. I don't necessarily think that that's going to be a status quo situation that'll stay the same forever, necessarily. But, if Apple says to AT&T, you know what, we'll just take our phone and off your network. Microsoft doesn't have that kind of power. How is Microsoft saying, well, let me pull the Lumia 830 and the 1520 off AT&T? Ooh, they're not going to be afraid of that. So there's an inherent amount of leverage that comes with popularity and share and being first. And I think a lot of what Apple has been able to do with the carriers has grown out of them by virtue them just being first. They could do that where other folks can't. I don't know. Does Samsung? I don't pay enough attention to Android, but does Samsung, when they've launched the Galaxy line across all carriers, right?
That's worldwide.
All right. So I mean, they've got power, they've got muscle, and that's because they've got users. What does Microsoft have as leverage? What did Nokia have?
I guess what I'm getting at is, why do the carriers start, if Apple wasn't big, if Samsung wasn't big, if this was back in 2002 when the iPhone was announced, if I remember right, then why do the carriers at the initial point, why did they say, no, you can't do the updates? Like, where is that mentality coming from? Why think that way, right? I understand that Apple gets away with it because they've got all this power, but why do they have to use that power to twist this particular thing in the beginning? Like, why do the carriers care so much about who gets to push the updates to the damn phones? The only thing I can figure is kind of what you got at earlier with the bottom line of forcing people to buy new hardware. But
it could be that, but it could be, what people, corporations do things for the same reasons people do. And, if you have the option of having control or not having control of a situation, what's your default position going to be? It's going to be to have control of the situation. So I don't know what all the nuance is about how it evolved, but I think at the end of the day, it is about power and control. And Apple, in their situation, has the power and control, as does Samsung, and Microsoft just simply doesn't. And
I think it's fucking stupid.
Well, we can agree on that. But you know, it's.
I just had to end that. I just had to end it with that. So what else from yesterday?
It is, damn it.
Continuum looks exciting. It's all hell. I can't wait for that with my yoga. I'm sure everybody with a Surface is just chomping at the bit.
Well, except for me, because I have a Surface RT.
I can't see your bottom lip. It needs to be bigger. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, sad panda.
Oh, here we go.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. Hopefully, we're not playing that for him on March 7th.
That's right.
Yeah.
Contribute.
That's the last day, right? That's the deadline for the GoFundMe.
So
it's not in by the 6th. That's all she wrote.
Yeah. So really, my cutoff's probably like the 3rd, so I can get that in the mail.
So we have how many recurring viewers? What is it, like 14?
I guess if you take us off, because you guys all watch this, right?
So 14 viewers. You guys all have to give. All you have to give is what, $300?
Yeah, there you go. $300 a pop.
I put some nice incentives in there too. Let me pull it up and.
Yeah, you should do that. You should share the GoFundMe screen real quick.
If you let's see.
Is anybody watching us live right now?
Yeah. What are the stats there?
I think Robert McLaws is watching us actually.
No, okay.
Really? Awesome.
He was earlier.
Hey, Mr.
Well,
McLaws.
hey, he asked me
about how much he was enjoying the show. So
if he is the watcher, I got something for you. So he asked me on Twitter right before we started the podcast about my recent 4K monitor experience. So let me tell you about my recent 4K monitor.
Here we go.
So the first 4K monitor I tried. So the original goal was to take the Surface RT and not the RT. Listen to me. The Surface Pro 3 with the docking station and a 4K monitor, and I'd try to get rid of my tower. That was the overall goal. So the first one I tried was the nice Samsung 27-inch use something or other. I can't remember. Anyway, it was nice. It was a 28-inch actually. It was a nice monitor, but I couldn't get it to output 4K over the mini DPI, the mini DP, and I couldn't. The only time I could get 4K working was when I used HDMI, the HDMI adapter, and it would only output at 30 hertz. So that was shitty. So I sent that back, and I got a Dell 4K monitor, and I had the exact same problem. So I finally gave up on the 4K situation and bought a video card, the regular old 27-inch Ultra Sharp, Dell's newest one, and that's what I'm using, and I'm not even bothering with 4K. So there you go, Robert. My 4K experience with the Surface Pro 3 was shite.
In the middle of that
my advice to Robert was to get a Surface Hub and just be done with it, but
in the middle of that wonderful explanation, Robert, our viewer left.
That's
so well done.
I chased
well done.
My work here is done. My work here is done.
So there are 2 reward levels for the GoFundMe. If you donate $100, and we'll give you a personal thank you on the air during one of the build shows.
That
or
personal
if you donate,
thank you is permanent marker written across Andrew Long's chest, by the way.
Well,
it's actually not. It's not marker. He's gonna shave "thank you" into his.
There's too much,
there we go. I like that.
I would say there's too much hair there that you wouldn't be able to see the marker. You'd have to do something else.
We could get creative with some hair dye.
No. $250, and you get to come on the show with us.
There we go. And that's big time right there, guys. This could jump off your career right here.
No doubt. And there's certainly talent scouts watching, recruiters from Microsoft.
Yeah.
Apple,
Microsoft Talent Management, one of our biggest subscribers.
Yeah. They're all out there.
Screenshots of Spartan on phone.
Yeah, Spartan. That was the other thing that came out yesterday. That was announced.
Brandon, that's a Windows Central link.
Yeah.
Notice I never said I clicked it.
It's only an image though. There's no stupid around it.
Looks good, I think. I'm good with the address bar on top too.
Everybody is bitching about that, and I like it up there.
Well,
yeah, I don't get it either. This petition to have the address bar on the bottom. What the fuck?
Rudy started one.
Yeah, and then the Win fans were telling Robert he needed to.
Yeah.
He needed to get on that last night. So.
The Win fans.
It's like, no, I'm not gonna go to bat about the address bar. Sorry.
How did you get involved with that?
Somebody tweeted me and somebody else the link to the user voice thing. It was like, you should, Win fans unite or some crazy
oh my god
bag shit like that. So
Hey, Win fans, love you all. Let's focus our efforts on important shit, okay? Like where the hell the address bar is, you'll get used to it either way. I mean, come on now.
A little over the top.
In that Verge piece, when they were referring to the zealots, they were talking about y'all.
Exactly.
So don't be those guys and gals, okay? A little decorum, please.
You can be hipsters, but don't go to the point of wearing scarves everywhere, okay?
Well, he didn't wear it to Redmond, so...
Yeah, he left it at home.
I saw his scarf account was a little miffed about that, I think.
Was it? Was Rubino's scarf like screaming, trying to get a taxi, or what?
I think that the tweet I saw was, let me see, something about
I missed it.
Daniel Rubino got to go to Redmond for the Windows 10 event, and all I got was this lousy Twitter account.
Oh yeah, I saw that tweet.
So the picture of Rubino with, is that Brad Sams that was next to him?
Yeah.
And I assume Dr. Pizza. So
no offense to Peter.
Dr. Pizza's beard, right?
No, as somebody said, who was it that said something about it looked like he was hungry?
I said he looked like he was getting ready to eat.
That was you.
Yeah.
I forgot who had said that. It was like, oh, that's so bad, but I'm like, yeah, it's totally true.
But I love you, Dr. Pizza.
Yes, we do too.
Well, that's like the second person in our group that's insulted Peter Bright. Tim did a good number on him last year at Build.
I don't even. What
do
were
you
we
even
talking about?
remember?
Yeah,
it was the 1520 when he was complaining about how big it was, and you said if you didn't have like little midget hands.
Either that, or I said something about sausage fingers.
I was gonna say he looks like you.
Maybe it was sausage fingers. Yeah, I think it was that.
He laughed though when he said it. It was
He did. He flipped you off, and it was like this.
Yeah, it was like that.
I do need to pull Brad Sams aside though and ask him to eat a sandwich because that boy is entirely too skinny.
Yeah, he's a tall guy though. He's like a 6'3". He's taller than me.
Is he that tall?
Like
yeah.
Wow. That's like a Daniel Gary build going on right there.
Yep.
We love you too, Daniel.
Yep.
Well, Daniel's a little meatier. I don't mean that. I mean that totally non-gay way.
Whoa.
Here we go.
I mean, he's a thicker guy. He's a toothpick. Skinny.
You're
not getting better. You're not making it any better.
Taking her down.
The shovel.
Esteban, save me. Sorry, Daniel. These guys are impossible to live with.
Live with?
Online.
So, Hotel Palomar is where it's at. Everybody who's going to Build wants to hang out with the 25.4 guys.
25.4 party is going to be in Brandon's suite.
Hopefully
I didn't get a
this year.
suite. I didn't think about that. But
so last year when we did registration, the main lobby was all under construction, so we had to get in an elevator and go up to like the 5th floor, and they just emptied out one of the rooms and had 2 people in there with a desk, waiting for it to focus. Oh, for is stocky.
Who did that come from? Where did that come
from? Esteban.
Oh, that's
the
great.
The word you were looking for is stocky.
That's
yes.
That's correct.
Yes.
That's awesome. Oh.
That
Yeah, I
reminds
was
me of the
pleasantly
old-
surprised at the discounts that Build offered on the hotels.
Yeah, because that Palomar was what, like $460 a night on their website?
Yeah, and Zeta was like $540 a night, and it was like $280 or something.
Crazy.
I can't believe that. The Intercontinental, I didn't even see what it was outside of Build, but with Build, it was $330 a night. So it's probably $600. I mean, it looked like they're all doing about 50% off.
Mm-hmm. Well, those are
The
good.
Intercontinental's a nice joint, but they charge for everything. Everything.
Well, I was a little disappointed about the whole Wi-Fi being. You have to have a membership to some other service in order for it to be complimentary.
Just pony up and turn on your tethering.
Yeah, I spent, no time in the hotel. Come home.
Yeah, the only time I really
at
used
2 o'clock, and you don't need it.
Yeah, it was Build 2013 when I did my 23 gigs worth of data in a month, and that was because that's when Windows 8, Windows 8 came out, and so everybody was downloading the ISOs, and so and it was on the Surface, it was on the Iconia W3, and it was on my Yoga, and I had all that tethered to my Verizon phone, and I did 23 gigs of data that month.
Damn.
Thank God you got that unlimited data plan still.
Well, I'm going to conserve all my data the month of March.
Both gigs?
3. Well, I'm on the. I upgraded to the 3 gig plan with the mobile share thing a while back.
All 2 of them.
I'm going to see if I can manage to roll over and have about 6 gigs ready to go for.
Well, you guys are free to tether off mine too, so I got unlimited, so use it up.
I've got 30 gigs, which is almost the same thing as unlimited, really. Unless you're really working it.
Well, we'll see how good the Wi-Fi is this year. Historically, of course, it goes to shit during the keynote. So.
Right. Yeah. I don't even bother trying to really do much internet stuff during the keynote.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing during the keynote?
Taking pictures mostly.
Live tweet.
Tweeting. Lots of tweeting.
We should post a picture on the 25.4 site of that epic selfie that Tim took. Was it Tim? Was it you that took it last year?
That was me.
Yeah. That epic selfie. I mean, this is like Ellen DeGeneres shit right here.
It was pretty perfect.
I believe I might have that handy.
So the sad thing was we didn't do it until Brian left, because Brian was still the weird guy who we talked to for about 10 seconds. Brian
I don't
left
even remember Crispy until one of the bars.
No, yeah, he was with us in the first keynote, second keynote.
Damn, I don't even remember that.
He was.
Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, I got it. Here, let's see.
Sorry, Crispy, that's not a reflection on you. I just have a really, really shitty memory.
2014.
Yeah, and then Robert. What did Robert say after Brian went to the bathroom? It was, I don't want to embarrass you too much.
I'm sure it was something like nice ass.
Like, if you're gonna, what was it like? If you're gonna pick up a guy, holy crap, or something like that.
Hey, I ain't afraid to say it.
Something of those sorts.
I think is this the selfie? Hold on, let me see. How do you share a picture in this damn nightmare of a user interface?
Don't share a picture. Just share your screen. That way the viewers can see it too.
Oh, there we go. Is this it?
No. Your hands, I took the picture.
No. It's the one where we're all sitting at a diagonal in the keynote, and we all we peeked around each other, like 8 people deep.
I have that one also, I believe. Tim gave us all a copy of it. Well, I can't find it right now.
Bummer. That was anticlimactic. We'll have to get it on the show notes on the website.
Yeah, I should have tagged it.
All right, guys, we're an hour in. What do you think, Chief Producer?
I think we've beaten this one to death.
Well, there you go.
That's how we do.
I think an hour's plenty information for the people
I do too.
that aren't watching.
They're all gonna watch eventually, right?
Everybody.
They all do. They always do.
We'll be the stars of the Internet Wayback Machine. All right, everybody.
All right, fellas, take it easy.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Stay frosty.
Girl Scout.
Adios.